Hello everyone, I'm Becky and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making chocolate fudge, old-fashioned chocolate fudge, just how my grandma used to make. The ingredients are so simple. It's just Hershey's cocoa, canned milk, corn syrup, pure vanilla extract, and half a stick of butter. The process that you make it is very similar to the vanilla fudge that I made in a different video. If you haven't seen that, check that out, where I give a really detailed approach to making old-fashioned fudge. So this is my vanilla fudge that I make. And we always called it white fudge. That's what my grandma called it. It is the creamiest, best fudge you will ever eat. And I'm not trying to brag, but it just really is. And this chocolate fudge recipe is just as creamy and just as good. I've got about 3 cups of sugar in here. Of course, the recipe will be in the description. And one of the things that I do different from the vanilla fudge is I like to mix my cocoa and my sugar together before I put the rest of my ingredients in there. So that way you won't have big clumps of cocoa. If you try to put your cocoa in last, or when you got wet ingredients in there, you will get clumps of cocoa in there. So I just put it in here and whisk it until the cocoa was well blended with the sugar. Okay, so I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. My half a stick of butter, real butter, not margarine. Two tablespoons of corn syrup. You got to have your other form of sugar in there to keep the fudge from crystallizing. So that's the purpose of the corn syrup. So the recipe calls for 1 3/4 cup of milk. So my grandma always used canned milk, and this doesn't measure out quite exactly to 1 3/4 cup. So what I do is I just top off the remainder with, well, actually that is about 1 3/4 cup. Okay. 1 can of evaporated milk. We'll need that after all. So we're going to cook this on the stove on medium heat. I'm going to use a candy thermometer. Now you don't have to have a candy thermometer. It does make it easier. But you can also do if you don't have a candy thermometer, you can do the cold water method, and I will show you that as well. And this is a loaf pan. Of course, you see I have aluminum foil in here. I've sprayed that with Pam because my fudge will be going in there. And this is a spoon that I use. You need to use a good heavy-duty spoon. And this is the one that I use for when I'm always make my fudge. Always use this. And let's see, pure vanilla extract. You want to make sure you have pure vanilla extract. And I believe that is about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on the stove. I'm going to finish my piece of vanilla fudge that I don't need. And I guess I'm ready to go. See you at the stove. Here I am stooping down. Now, if you're trying to make this fudge, this old-fashioned fudge for the first time, I would suggest that you try the white fudge first, the vanilla fudge, because it is just a tad more forgiving than the chocolate fudge. And now the chocolate fudge tends to stick a little more, and it's much more particular. You have to stir it pretty much the whole time it's on the stove. Even after it starts to boil, you still maybe want to stir it a little bit. Now, some recipes say don't stir it after it comes to a boil, but if you don't, I've found that it kind of sticks a little bit. So right now it's on medium heat. And also the vanilla fudge is easier to manipulate. It sets up easier. It's just an easier fudge to make. So putting the cocoa in this makes all the difference in the fudge, as far as the way it cooks and the way it sets up and all that. But once you learn how to make it, you know how to make it. So okay, so my thermometer is saying 237. And now it's on 238. For some reason, this cooked up really fast. Well, I think. Okay, so I've already taken my fudge off the stove and put it on a marble slab. I got a phone call and it got me a little distracted, so it's been a hectic week. My mom's been in the hospital, my sister's in the hospital, they both have COVID, and I mean, it's just been awful. So the reason why I put mine on a marble slab is because it cuts the cooling process to about 85%. On the marble slab, it takes about 9 minutes to cool, whereas if I left it in the pan, it would take about 55 minutes to cool. So that's why I love using the marble slab. Plus, it's easy to manipulate, but you do not have to have that. You can absolutely manipulate it in the pan just as well, because I did that for years before I started using a marble slab. So I'm gonna let it cool for about 6 minutes or so more. And then I will manipulate it, show you how I do that, and show you how it sets up. Okay, so my fudge is ready. It has cooled. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. These are my utensils that I'll be using. I've sprayed them with Pam so that the fudge won't stick. So now I'm going to start to manipulate my fudge. And I just kind of lift it up. I don't dig into the marble. What are y'all doing?
Mom, can you take me?
Okay, I'm making a video right now.
Will you take me? I'm charging your AirPods.
They're on that table over there.
No, I haven't.
I've been freaking out trying to find them. If you're gonna use an app, just say something.
I told Mom to Mom.
Don't even try to tell Mom. You didn't tell Mom nothing.
Yes, I did. I said tell him when I told you.
Okay, well, I was busy. It's not my responsibility to tell him. I didn't even hear you say
and
that.
I was charging them for him because they were on 1%.
Okay, you need to ask him yourself.
He was in the shower.
Okay, you could have asked him through the door.
Lord, I was just trying to be helpful and charging for him.
So you could use them. Okay, so to this fudge, I'm going to add some walnuts and some marshmallows, and I'm going to make it like a Rocky Road fudge. Kind of got to work quick with this because you don't want it to set up on you. Like I should have had my stuff out, but I'm a little off. A little off today. So, throw some walnuts in there. You don't need a lot, just a few. A little bit goes a long way. And then, just throw that in there like that. Try to get those marshmallows to stick so they won't be rolling off. So we're gonna have some Rocky Road fudge. And you just continue to work with it until it loses its gloss. Which this is, I'm just surprised at how quick this is cooking up and setting up. Usually it takes the chocolate longer to cook than the vanilla and longer to set up than the vanilla. But for whatever reason, you know, and the weather does play a part when it comes to this kind of candy making. It can affect the cooking process for sure. So, yeah, that's about ready to. So I put my thermometer in there and it said like 242 degrees. I was like, what? Already? Because usually I cook it to about 235. That's what I cook my chocolate to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pan here that I've sprayed with Pam so it can set up. It looks to me like it's about there. So there it goes. So that's what it looks like. And you can see it's already starting to set up. It didn't take long at all. So you just slip the foil right out of the pan. And it's just got nice and firm. Look at that. And now you cut it. That's it, Rocky Road Fudge. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to have myself a piece. So I got my fudge all cut up. Look at those big old hunks of chocolate with marshmallows. I do wish I would have put a few more marshmallows in there, but that's okay. So now is taste time. Look at that. Nice piece here with nice bits of marshmallow. Okay, there is my piece of fudge. I'm gonna have to take a bite of this. It's nice and firm. Chocolate was my dad's favorite. He loved the chocolate. There's nothing like it. It's downright heavenly. Got a marshmallow. This is so good. It's so creamy. I mean, it's just a delight. It's a pure delight to eat. So, I feel like it's had a calming effect on me. I need to be calm. I've had a rough week. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. This video didn't go exactly as planned, but I'll be making more. If you have any questions about anything I did, ask me in the comments. And also, you can always refer back to my vanilla fudge video for details. So, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Stay safe.